What's going on, everyone? How are you doing? So today I'm going to talk to you about how we can achieve some really nice crisp audio on a very low budget.
During the race, had some great battles, like the best battles I've ever had on track.
People can usually sit through a poorly shot video, but they will rarely stick about if the audio is terrible. That's why it's so important to make sure that your audio is spot on. Right, so to kick things off, the first thing you need to think about is your environment. Where are you shooting? Where are you recording your audio? If you're in a very crowded place with loads of people,
he's all talk, man. He's a punk.
All of that ambient noise is going to be really high, and it's going to be hard to differentiate your audio source, which is the person you're interviewing, from the ambience around.
Yeah, ideal scenario, and it's a nice little place.
So the best thing to do is try and get yourself in a space or an environment that has very low ambient level of noise. So for example, if you're going to shoot an interview, try and go into a nice quiet room or a space that the ambience is as low as possible. Say for example, you're shooting an interview in a kitchen, you might hear the fridge buzzing. If there's people talking next door, knock on a door. Hold on, mate, look, we're recording an interview here. Do you mind just keeping it down? Try and move them to another room, whatever. Do whatever you can to get the ambience as low as possible. The next thing, record into an external microphone. Me personally, I use the Rode VideoMic Pro. It's a relatively cheap microphone. It's also a shotgun mic, so that allows it to be more directional. The reason for using an external microphone is because you can get your mic as close to your audio source as possible. Let me give you an example. Let's quickly widen this frame. And there you go. So you can see just how close this microphone is to me. If I hadn't have opened this frame up, you wouldn't have even known that the microphone was literally centimeters away from my head. So the plan is to get your mic as close to the audio source, which in this case is my mouth, as possible. If this is the frame here, yeah, see the frame? You want to be getting that mic as close to my mouth. In this case, right there is as close as you can get without it being in the frame, obviously. What that does is it allows us to create a big contrast between our audio source and our ambient environment. If the microphone was all the way over there, which is about 4 meters away where my camera is, it'd be able to pick up the sounds that are around that just as much as it can pick up my audio.
I'm going to talk to you today about the grading system of the willow clefts in our yard. I'm going to talk to you today about the grading system of the willow clefts in our yard.
Therefore, if you brung up your levels, you'd be able to hear a lot more noise in the background.
I'm going to talk to you today about the grading system of the willow clefts in our yard.
Now, in a typical interview environment, I would set up my microphone on a boom stand. They're really cheap and easy to get your hands on. I'll stick links in the bio for you. I can get my microphone all the way over the top of my source and stick it in right on the edge of frame, getting it as close to the audio source as possible. Make sure that you weigh down your stand with a sandbag or anything like that. It's not going to knock your subject out when it falls in their face. Then what I do is I plug my microphone into a high quality auxiliary cable. Then I run that audio all the way into my mic input on the side of my camera. Now, don't worry if you haven't got a mic input on your camera. You can use something like this, called an external digital recorder. Now this allows you to record audio directly into it, and it also allows you to monitor your levels on it itself. But let me talk about the camera first, because it basically does the same thing. Once you've plugged your microphone into your camera or your recorder, you then have to monitor your audio. Now I like to keep my microphone on about 0 decibels, therefore it allows me a bit of room on the in-camera levels to make sure I'm not too high or too low on the levels. What I mean by that is, if you're monitoring your audio through your headphones, you can check on the levels. If the audio source is getting a bit too loud and the levels are starting to peak, you can bring down your levels in camera or in recorder to allow you to keep that sweet spot. The most important thing is do not let your levels peak, because once they peak, you can't get them back. If they're a little bit too low, you can bring them up in post. Just remember, you're going to bring up all of the ambient sound around you as well. So with the recorder, you do the exact same thing. You literally plug that audio cable all the way into the side on the line in, and then you plug your headphones into the other end, and you can monitor your audio by looking at the peaks. You can just change your input levels on the recorder. So there you go. That is how you record some really nice, clean audio at a very affordable price. I'll make sure that I leave all of the links in the description for any of the mics or stands or anything I've spoke about. So I hope that helped you out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like and a subscribe if you want to. Not a problem if you don't. Anyway, have a good day, people. Sweet.